As heartbreaking as this is, statistics show that 88% of autistic children and even adults are bullied, from being socially excluded and minor taunting to outright physical and mental harming. I'd like to point out that even your favorite teacher, the extremely sweet one to your face, could be the very bully that is making it uncomfortable for your child. I should know, this was my experience growing up, and I was verbal for the most part, but I was too scared to say anything. So you can imagine the hardship of a child at school or an autistic adult at work who can't say anything. I'm not saying all teachers or bosses are this way. I just want you aware that behind closed doors, especially for autistic individuals who are nonverbal, we as parents have a responsibility. We need to be extra aware and do whatever we can to be the voice of our children's rights. I'll show you what you can do and what signs to look for, as well as what I have done for my children. I'm Jules, an autistic functional nutritionist, and I'm covering a very sensitive topic for me. As a child, one of my memories, I was about 6 years old. There was a teacher that my parents loved. I recall whenever they weren't around, she would yell at me or pull me aside to say that I've done something dumb, and other times she shamed me in front of others. And that's on top of being physically and mentally tormented by other children at school. I would tell my mom I didn't want to go to school because I was sick or had some excuse of why. My mom thought I was just being a naughty kid who just hated schoolwork, when there was so much more that she was not aware of. Please comment below and share with others what you or your child experienced so that viewers are more aware of this problem. As an adult, you'd think the bullying ended at school, but it didn't. Even coworkers would do small things such as snide comments, obviously snickering about me, embarrassing me, or forcing more work on me that wasn't my job, etc. I didn't want to work. At some point, because of my brain changed from lifestyle changes that I did, I came off neurotypical, so no one really bullied me after 23 years old. However, the scars still remain. Here are some things you can do in hopes of having your child or if you're an autistic adult, be protected as much as possible. But first, here are some signs to look for. Frequent and unexplained cuts, bruises, burns, etc. The frequent disappearance of things like lunch money, phones, etc. Reluctance to go to school. Stress, depression, mood swings, or loss in confidence, a loss in self-esteem. Increased self-soothing behaviors like repetitive motions, etc. Increased obsessional behaviors, plunging into a world of their own. A decline in schoolwork and other progress markers. Now what you can do. Once my youngest child said he didn't want to go to school, that it was quote-unquote yucky. I took it seriously. I asked some questions of why, making sure he felt heard. I asked about his teachers, his classmates, if they were mean to him, but he was silent at the question. He might not have understood how to answer that, as he's 4, so I proceeded with caution when dropping him off at school. Sometimes, kids just really don't want to go to school due to boring schoolwork, but I told him if he really doesn't want to go to school, we will figure something out. Most people aren't fortunate enough to catch someone in the act, but I was. I arrived 30 minutes early, standing outside of the class, and heard the teacher raise her voice at my son, not realizing I was there. Oh, she got an earful from me. Not in front of the kids, but she was clearly humbled after pulling her aside. This is not recommended, so what I also did was report her to the principal, writing an eloquent but clearly upset long email along with my son's legal right, as sometimes they need a good reminder of the law, because, they don't read the law, but they will in a very angry letter. And when legality is brought in, they know you mean business. I have included a link that gives you all the rights of an autistic person in public school settings or work settings below for their protection. Note they do, however, must meet the following criteria. But even if your child is not meeting any of the criteria below, they may still be considered a violation of FAPE. On top of that, the IEP team should meet to consider any changes to their program. For my eldest child, Raiden, I homeschooled him. This is likely not a possibility for many, but in case it is, I implore that the homeschooling is more beneficial for autistic individuals than public school. I have made a video on this topic. Please check it out why it's important. I hope you found this interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.